Hi, welcome back to Auto Review. My name is Patrick and today I'm presenting you the brand new 2018 Volvo XC40 in the T5 engine configuration, all-wheel drive and R-Design. So before we get to the car, please hit the subscribe button down there or on top, wherever you see it, so you're informed about every new video coming out. And thank you very much, Zimmermann AG in Unterseen, who provided this car to me. They were so kind to give it to me so I could show it to you. And if you're interested in this particular car, it's for sale. You'll see the link down in the description. So coming back to the car, as I mentioned, there are different petrol choices. We have here the T5, which is the most powerful petrol engine with 247 horsepower at 5,500 RPM, maximum torque of 350 Newton meters between 1,800 to 4,800 RPM, 0 to 100 in 6.5 seconds, top speed 230 kilometers an hour, and a tested fuel consumption on over 450 kilometers I had over the last 4 days was between 7.4 to 8.4 liters per 100 kilometers, which I consider actually a good value if you consider the size of the car, that is an SUV, the power output it has. It's a really good fuel consumption. With 7.4 liters on 100 kilometers and a 54-liter fuel tank, you should be able to reach around 729 kilometers. If you're better than that, then obviously more. Prices start at 35,500 Swiss francs for the T3 petrol engine, which is producing 156 horsepower, 4-cylinder as well. And if you want the car in exactly this trim with everything I'm going to show you in the video, it would set you back 69,300 Swiss francs. However, as I mentioned, if you would like to buy this particular one after the video, then it's going to cost you 62,000 at Zimmermann AG. A link down there. All right, then one more thing. CO2 emission, we have 168 grams of CO2 per kilometer, and for everyone who is freaking out there in the European Union, especially in Germany, about CO2 emissions and diesel bans and so on, Volvo, the XC40 comes with a Euro 6D temp for both petrol and diesel engines across the range. So you don't have to worry about the next years going into city centers, Stuttgart, Hamburg, Berlin, and so on. So that's pretty much it. Let's hop in the first row and I'll explain you everything as usual. First row, second row, the boot space, and then we hit the road. Enjoy! Alright, so the XC40 from inside, and if you have seen maybe my other video of the XC60, it's going to look very familiar to you. We have the same setup, steering wheel style, the dashboard in the middle with the big screen. Here it looks a little bit different. And overall quality is really good. I mean, if you look at the materials here, we have everywhere soft touch on the side. This is harder, and the only thing that I could find, which maybe they overlooked when they released the car or basically delivered it, is this part here. You see, it's a little loose, but I already reported this to Zimmermann AG and they are going to fix this ASAP when I return the car. So other than that, nothing else that I can say. So as usual, from left to right. On the left we have the controls for the windows as well as the mirrors. They can fold in. They have the blind spot assistant, spherical glass, very good visibility from the mirrors, and obviously electrically adjusted, heated and foldable. Then what I like is we have electric lock of the doors in the back, so if you lock this, you won't be able to, or your children will not be able to get out, and that is both for windows and for doors, so it's both in one. Then we have huge door bins, and this is from the design. If you look at it, they basically put everything on top here, and that allowed to have large door bins on both left and right, which is great. Harman Kardon, which is good sound. The only thing I don't like about the Harman Kardon is actually this Harman Kardon here that is on the central speaker, because on a day like this, sunny day, it's basically reflecting in the windshield. It's exactly in the middle of the windshield. So I would have put it further over there or take it off from there, because you see it on the sides already. Let's move the mic a bit. Then steering wheel, nice and thick with the stitching in the middle. Chrome part here, R-Design. As I mentioned, R-Design is the most sporty design that you can get for the Volvo. With shift pedals, left down, right up. However, here we have metal in the front, but plastic in the back. And it feels a little bit rubberized, I think for better grip. So controls for the lights on the left and obviously the wipers on the right. We have a digital dashboard, which gives us information on the speed left, RPM right. Everything digital, fuel gauge. On the bottom you have trip computer, Range. In the middle we have then everything in regards to information on parking brake, front radar that we have, and in the middle we have the navigation that is always there. Then let's turn this one on. Here we have basically a minimalistic design, so we have the air vents here, left, right, from both sides of the screen. We have one central button which brings you always back to the menu, and it tells you as well where to go. So if you go to the left, you have some function, ESC, parking assistant, start, stop. Camera, we have a 360-degree camera built in here, which is actually something you really need. I'm going to come to that back later. And if you swipe to the right, you have radio, Bluetooth, and so on, as well as performance, download center, messages, and surround sound or sound of the car. Then on the bottom, you have as well the ventilation. We have heated seats front and rear, and we have a heated steering wheel in this version. All digital, so you don't have knobs or anything like this. You always have to go through the screen. Start stop push button. Sorry, we forgot actually steering wheel. You can adjust in reach and rake, which is good. So we have seats electrically adjustable in all different settings with lumbar support. And again, on the bottom we have only buttons for hazard light, the windows, the knob for the radio, which is good, a big knob, and drive modes. We have drive modes Eco, Comfort, Off-Road, and Dynamic. Off-Road, as the same as in the XC40, will be working until 40 kilometers per hour. And on the bottom in the center console we have a 12-volt power socket, 2 USB ports, wireless charging station for your phone if it's supporting, a little ashtray, then the gear knob. And this is one thing that you have to remember. Other than BMW, for example, where you put it into drive, it goes through all the modes, and it's in D. Here it goes step by step through the different gears. For parking, then parking brake, auto hold function, which is great. 2 cup holders rubberized on the bottom with spacers. Here we have the ashtray, which is a really cool thing. You have to be careful what you throw inside. Then armrest, which you can't slide forward or adjust in height, with a big cupboard or support. And you can take out the ashtray, which has as well a net you can see here for this side. Obviously you can leave it out and then you have a big cupboard here, but then you'll be able to see inside. And on the right side we have a glove box with a pen holder. The manual is on top here, a small manual which is nice and sleek. You don't need these huge manuals that you usually see. Rubberized as well. Rear mirror is really nice, very sleek, with the on-call SOS and on-call button. We have the electric panoramic roof, then the mics for the Bluetooth and speaker, illuminated lights and mirrors for both passenger and driver, and 4 handles all around in the car. Seats are very comfortable, Alcantara leather style. I really like the headrest. They're so comfy and really nice position, and this is something that Volvo does really well. You can extend the seats for driver and passenger here in the front for your legs, and that's pretty much it for the front. Let's check the back. Alright, so the XC40 from the back, and I have to correct myself, there are only handles in the front, not in the back, as you see here. But seat in front is adjusted to me. I'm 1.84 m tall. You can see I have still plenty of headroom. Even though we have the panoramic roof, it doesn't take away any of the space, and I have plenty of leg room. Then we have on the rear side of the seats the nets, where you can actually put magazines and stuff. In the middle we have the ventilation, same chrome look. However, it's not a 3-zone AC, it's a dual-zone AC, so you can only channel the air or close it basically. Then actually on the bottom, a little bit difficult to find, is a USB-C port, which is something new. So it's the first car I see with a USB-C port. And we have the heated seats for the outer seats in 3 settings. Then the doors you can see open really wide. Then let me see that I don't have the lock engaged. I can actually get out of the car again. Actually easy to get in and out, so you can obviously hold to the seat. When we close the doors, we have pockets, which is all nice material here, soft in the doors to put bottles. However, be careful that you don't put open drinks, otherwise it's going to be really sticky and ugly. Then seats are comfortable. Again, Alcantara leather mix. Here in the middle you have just the leather. We have a armrest with 2 cup holders, or 3 basically. You can have the small energy drinks. We have rubber spacers, which is good. On the bottom, hard plastic. And then we have a cover. You can open it to the boot, and you see here something, which is actually the hidden headrest, which is a feature that I love about Volvo. The XC60 had the same thing, so it looks this way, like it doesn't have one. However, you slide it up and it goes all the way to the top. Same as these headrests, which is great. So you can have normal sized people sitting in the middle and have head support. Then isofix left and right. Headrests are really great. As I mentioned, with one touch you can fold those down. And if you want to fold the seats, I'm going to show you as well. One more thing, we have a little hook that you can take out and put on the other side, where you can have the net as well, in case you want to separate the driver's cabin from the boot cabin. So let me just get out. And if you fold down the seats, you just press here and you see it unfolds. And then with a flat boot, and you have the storage space, which I'm going to show in a moment. So let's check the boot. Right, coming to the back of the XC40, and this is something that few people, or some people will say, looks a little bit different because it's not known. So we have a huge area basically, which is in this case white. We have the L-shape rear lights, all in red, the roof spoiler extension with a third brake light, then XC40 T5 R all-wheel drive, or R design, as I mentioned, R design as well, the 20-inch wheels that you see there, and these are 245/40 R20 Pirelli P0 tires all around. And again, this is the one that's actually really massive in the back. On the bottom we have the chrome exhaust, but it's actually only a cover. The exhaust pipes are very small, tiny inside, and then you have as well a reverse camera, which is hidden in here, and the release of the boot is here as well. Now, one thing about the XC40, from a design point of view, it looks really nice from the side. However, this area here makes it really difficult to see from a driver's point of view, especially when you go backwards, because this creates a huge blind spot. Therefore, if you get the XC40, I do recommend that you do get the 360-degree camera, because that might be really challenging to park this car without this, and without the reverse camera for that matter. And well, thanks God we have the 360-degree camera. Okay, so we open the boot. We can do that over, again, the lever here, or on the key, which is a really nice key, as you can see here. Yeah, we have it Volvo logo, which is leather wrapped. On one side we have lock, unlock, and boot, and on the other side we have the hazard lights. So we want to have the boot, so let's press it. And here we go. Now you can stop the boot obviously any time in case you have a low garage. And then we have a boot compartment with 460 liters if you leave it with the seats up to 1,336 liters if you fold the seats down. Now what I like about the boot is very versatile and very smart. Actually, let me get the camera a little bit closer so you can see it and I can present this to you. Okay, so now we see the boot. So we have the hooks in white. You see them in color of the car. In the front and in the back of the boot. Then we have two plastic hooks on the left and right. We have a 12-volt power socket. We have the boot release to basically fold down the seats. Let me just do it with the one on the left. You hold it a little bit longer, and actually it folds down the seat electrically, which is great. What I like about the boot is we have obviously leveled boot. Here we have metal protection of the boot. However, you have to be careful with this part here because that's sticking out. Then you have a handle here. When you open it up, you can either fold it in like this, so you get to the bottom of the boot, where you have a first aid kit and the net that you can attach to separate the boot space or the cargo area from the passenger area, and a huge area where you can put things. If you lift this one up, you'll see in the back actually a compressor kit and a compressor in case you have a flat tire. And what I like as well is we have a middle position for the boot floor, which is this one, and you can see here it's actually printed on another hook for back, so you don't need to use the entire boot. You can leave something there, and if you don't have enough to fill the boot as well, you're not going to have something flying around left and right because you have those hooks here, and you can put it inside down there. So I really like this boot, very versatile. And let's get back to the outside view. And yes, so that's the boot cargo area of the XC40. Let's close it, and now let's install the cameras in the front. Let's drive it, and I'll tell you what I think about it, how it picks up and how it behaves in the corners and so on. So let's drive. Okay, so let's drive the XC40, and we're gonna get away from all the motorcycle action here and from the airport area and drive onto the roads. And now I really like cars that have sunroofs, because then I can attach the camera and we have two totally different angles, which is great. Okay, so screen in the middle, I mentioned to you, we have a navigation here, which you can extend, make it bigger. And one thing that I have to criticize about the navigation right in front is when we drove actually behind Bern traffic, and there's a lot of traffic between Bern and Zurich, the highway, it didn't show me any traffic jam. Yeah? To see a traffic jam, you have to go here into a hat, and then it tells you if there's any traffic, and you have to press it. Like you have to select it first. It didn't show me on the highway at all. So we really hit into traffic, which wasn't nice. Maybe it's just a setting thing. However, I was not able to adjust this, and therefore we got traffic, right? But that's the only thing. Now let's start with the things that I think could be improved. One is, well, they can't improve it because the car is designed that well, is the visibility to the rear. The C-pillar is massive. It's really massive, and you can't see anything in there. It's so wide, and therefore you need this 360-degree camera. So please, if you get this car, do not save on that pack. It's called visibility pack or something like this. You need to get this for your own safety and for the safety of your bumpers. Now we have again 360-degree cameras, so 2 in the mirrors, 1 in the front, 1 in the back. We have parking sensors front and back, obviously. We have rear traffic cross alert, which freaked me out at one point because I was trying to get out, and every pedestrian that comes close to the car, it starts beeping like crazy. However, again, it's better to have it than to be sorry and have, you know, an accident or scratched car. Now, one thing that I love is the cruise control starts at 30 kilometers an hour. I love that. And the pilot starts at 30 kilometers an hour as well. So if it has lanes, it will do its own thing. So it will steer left and right or assist you with it, which is amazing. Another few things that could be improved is armrest. I can't slide it forward, so it's okay from the position. However, I wish it could be adjusted at least in the angle, so it's a little bit higher. The visibility or the reachability of the buttons for the USB-C port in the back and the heated seats, it's a little bit low, and I kind of missed it nearly if I wouldn't have looked down there. That's difficult to find. And what else? That's pretty much it. Positive points, and here we have a long list. Let's start with the best. We have a 5-year, 150,000 kilometer warranty, 10 years and 150,000 kilometer free service, whatever comes first. Same with the warranty, obviously. And if you are someone who drives not much, let's say you drive 15,000 kilometers a year, you're gonna have a worry-free car for 10 years because the service is included, and within the first 3 years, well, all the parts and everything is included. So that is great. Yeah, that's a really great thing to have. Second big positive thing, and this is for the petrol engine, but it's not for, it's as well for the diesel engines. What I mentioned, we do have Euro 6D temp, so you don't have to worry about diesel gates and diesel Fahrverbote, we call it in German, basically that you're not going to be allowed to drive into city center, Paris, whatever, London, Hamburg, and so on and so on. You can just say, I don't care, my car is clean, and I can go into city centers for at least the next 5 years, I'm sure, or longer. It should be longer. Then the look of the car is great. I love the 20-inch wheels. At the same time, I already worry about people who try to go for the 35,500 spec model, the T3, and don't put any other rims on top, and you're gonna have this super small rims that don't look nice. This car looks so good because of the 20-inch rims. Then let's go onto the highway and see how we accelerate, because again, we have 247 horsepower, and that is good. Yeah, 6.5 seconds to 100, and top speed 230, which we won't be able to test anywhere close in Switzerland. So let's accelerate, and let's put it in dynamic. And that's it. And the 8-speed automatic gearbox is really good. You don't really hear, you don't feel it's doing anything, it just does a thing. You can obviously manually shift as well if you bring it back down. You can put it right goes up, left goes down, or same thing over the pedals, you know, shift pedals on the steering wheel. I like the steering wheel, how it looks. I like all this information. I think it might be too much for a few people because of the information you have here. Let's just put it back in comfort. If you switch between the drive modes, obviously from drive, I don't want manual, I want drive, okay. If you shift it into eco mode, it will change, will take away the RPM, it will just show you like something green, but you still know where it is, pretty much. And the seats are very comfortable. I love the headrest. It's a super perfect position for me, because a lot of headrests are too far back and you're like, oh, you're sitting like that. Here we don't have that. Now, obviously you have some body movement. It's an SUV. But we have 245, 40 or 20 tires, so we have quite a wide tire, which gives you a lot of grip. We have all-wheel drive, obviously. The car is obviously elevated and it weighs a little bit more than the average small city car, but it's all fine, it's all good. It really drives very nice. I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to say. Recommendations for what you should get? Well, obviously the T5. However, it's pretty much double the base price if you take the T5 with everything on it, because it's close to 69,300 Swiss francs, right? Without any discounts. Obviously there's always something, but if you just say the stock price or the sticker price, 35.5 base model, this one 69.3 is exactly double, right? And there you have to think what you need. If you need a diesel or petrol, then we have a start-stop, but it would be nice if there would be a physical button to make it faster. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, like it, comment below, share the video, and as I mentioned, if you're interested in this car, please go to Garage Zimmermann AG in Unterseen, and they will be able to give you all the information that you need for this car. And maybe if you want to test drive it, then, well, yeah, bring them up. Description below. I wish you a great day. Hopefully you have a sunshine like we have here, and have a good time. See you next time. Bye.